XQ420 here, working y'all back. Another episode. Showtime with the Q. We have got the immaculate one himself, Mr. Ryder Lee, joining us once again for The Last of Us and the last of this season. Mr. Ryder Lee, how are you doing
I'm doing great, Cubed, and hopefully this is the last time we ever talk about this show.
today? Well, I mean, if I'm correct, they may be uh, coming out with two more seasons, not one more season, but two more seasons. This is the rumblings that we're getting currently right now
Well,
that I'm
with
hearing.
their audience drop off of this last episode, I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if they're going to be able to. I don't think HBO, because HBO is all about the hits. HBO is about the hits. They want the hits. They want the audience there, and that's what HBO has been known for. Okay, and this last episode had a 55% drop off of viewership. That's over half of
That's a
your
big drop.
audience.
That's a big drop.
Nobody wants to see that. No streaming platform, no company wants to ever see that. Could you imagine if you had, like, that's super devastating, Cube. I don't know how those numbers look good. That's a bad number. I don't, nobody ever, if they had a 55% drop off on anything, let's say you're selling something, let's say you had a business. Okay, let's say you're selling freaking jelly or whatever bread or whatever it is, just and you
Hmm.
see a 55% drop off, 55% of people are no longer buying your goods, you're in trouble, bro. You're
Oh,
in
oh,
real trouble.
the sirens flaring and everything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the purge siren might be going off. You know, that's what you might be hearing in the background. It could be something. Hold on, let me see if I got it. Oh, here we go. It could be something like this. That's what you be out there hearing. You're like, how about you say it, drop again? Oh, 55%. Oh, I mean, this is what you're hearing in the background. I mean, folks are sounding the alarm. It's like, what? Okay, so when you see something like that, do you gather everybody together and try to figure out what happened, or do you already kind of know what happened? Do you think they're aware of what happened?
They had to have known what happened. I mean, they had all of the information from the second game. They knew that everybody did not like the second game. Okay, they hated it. Very few people like the second game of The Last of Us.
Right.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they had
Everybody thought
all
the
of that,
first game was a masterpiece. They say first game's masterpiece.
just like everyone thought with the first season. I thought that it
Hmm.
was a masterpiece. I was like, holy shit, this is great. This could go down as one of the greatest TV shows of all time. Definitely the greatest TV adaptation of a video game of all time, 100%.
Hmm.
And they had all of this feedback from fans from the second game. Okay. They could have rewritten the entire thing if they
Yeah, they could
wanted
have
to.
just went a different direction completely.
But no, we have to do the game justice. We have to do it exactly like the game. Like bullshit. This is one
Yeah, but then
time.
they didn't do it. They didn't do it exactly like the game because we didn't get Ellie's unfiltered, psychopathic, bloodthirsty killing spree. We didn't get it, and that's what I was looking.
And they
I was looking at
purposefully,
episode where she shooting folk in the knees, coming up, stabbing them in the throat, bag over the face, shoot them in the back. I was looking something like that. You know what I'm saying? I was going to suspend belief that Bella Ramsey is bad enough to do this. Okay, I'm going to suspend belief. If we're talking about time has passed, you know, she's been training up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she's been in the gym. Okay, she's been getting her training right, and she's ready to go out here and ready to slit some throats. And so that's what I thought I was going to see. I said, okay, now I know what The Last of Us, the second game looked like. Looked like Ellie taking out a whole lot of folk on her way to try to get Abby. All right. and we didn't quite get that. It was a goofy ride. It became a goofy ride. It was something that was supposed to be so serious as Joel getting beaten to death and then stabbed in the throat right there in front of you. It got goofy. That's what it felt like to me.
And I don't even know who is supposed to be the damsel in distress in this entire show. I don't understand. Is it supposed to be Ellie
Ellie
or is
is
it
right
supposed
now.
to be?
Ellie is constantly in the damsel in distress. If you want me
But
to be
then,
honest, it's constantly Ellie. There's somebody because it always seems like somebody's in there to save Ellie,
yeah, but it
as
doesn't make
opposed
any.
to
That's where the
the other way
writing of
around.
like the writing is so screwed up. Like you have these two characters that you don't know what role they're supposed to be. Ellie is a complete retard. Like she's not able to do anything. They make her out to be like a bumbling idiot, and that's even commented on in the actual show within the writing of the show. They're like,
Hmm.
Ellie, you're stupid." Pretty much, they're just flat out calling her stupid. Like, what is going on with this show? Like, the writing is so bad. It's so bad. And like you said, if she would have been badass and she would have been taking out all these folk and just murking them, like, even give us some zombie action, but give us some infected action.
We didn't
Like,
really
where
get
are they
that.
at?
We got spare like I thought. Okay, so I thought episode 2, and I think me and you can both agree with the attack on Jackson. They added that. That wasn't in the game. I think they did a phenomenal job on that. I thought they did a phenomenal job when Abby was running. Now this wasn't the game when Abby was running from the zombie horde at that point in time, and they got her pinned in the side of the building, and they're coming through the fence. Phenomenal job. Okay. When it got to when we got past Jackson, we don't really see any infected until we're in the warehouse and the stalkers are there. Well, we do see the one moment in the train station, which was kind of quick. Every time it was zombie stuff, it was like it was here and it was gone. It was like 5 minutes. And then we got the tension build up with the stalkers, seeing how we had like 8 stalkers, and they're tearing open the cage. And like, okay, we're gonna see what Ellie's made of here. She's gonna have to start, working some things out. Of course, she just gets overwhelmed right out the gate, and Jesse comes and saves the day. Um, and for some reason, when he fires his gun, the rest of them like, okay, never mind. They just run off. But, it's a man's here. Never mind. I'm gonna go and take it to the house then. That's my bad. I didn't know Jesse. I didn't know you were coming through, dog. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that can take out a man on this show is a woman. Okay, that's the only.
I mean,
I think we're gonna make that one clear.
I understand what they were trying to do. They wanted to build suspense. They didn't want to give you all of the information right out the gate. They wanted you to be like, oh, well, this is what it was. This is the whole thing. You know, in the last episode with the episode before the last one, where Joel basically had to kill the one dude out in the middle of the forest, and
Yeah, Eugene.
Eugene, and Ellie was super mad at him, and then told
Oh
the
yeah, so that's
opposite.
episode 6. Yeah, that's episode 6. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and delve into that, guys. We're doing 6 and 7. We just decided to do a mashup. So yeah, episode 6 is the complete flashback episode itself. All right. And seeing how you were already speaking about that, how did you feel about how they approached that particular episode as a flashback episode?
It should have been the first episode.
Right.
It should have been the first episode, but they wanted to Tarantino it, right, and show you the end before they show you the beginning, and it did not work. It just didn't work. It fell flat, and no one liked it. Okay, so they should have made that the first episode. They should have made the second episode the second episode, and then the third episode, the one where Joel dies. And they should have just kept going and made Ellie a badass, and we could have believed that she was a badass and not made her this bumbling freaking idiot. But if they would have made this episode the first episode and not right out the gate just kill Joel with not giving us any Daddy Joel time, okay, we
Right.
needed Daddy Joel time, all right, and they didn't give it to us. They waited until the 6th episode to give us a freaking flashback to have Joel really doing anything. I wasn't impressed with the flashback episode because it was too little too late. And then they tried to make this big deal online of like the return of Joel. Joel's coming back. Everyone get excited. Everyone get hyped. He's coming back. Well, you just killed him, 4 episodes ago. Like, give us a break. We're
Yeah,
supposed to be hyped now. It's too little too late. You should have made this the very first episode. Okay? You should have
because
told
the emotional
a
ties.
congruent.
Yeah, emotional ties. You still there, Ryder?
You didn't even make us feel anything for Joel whenever Joel died.
Okay.
That's. Can you hear me? I didn't even feel any emotional ties to Joel whenever he died in the second episode because we didn't get any Joel time. Okay, and I did not rewatch the first season before I picked up on this season. Now, if I would have
Right.
went back and rewatched the entire first season, but that was 2 years ago, bro. 2 years ago, the first season came out, and then they're waiting and then they kill him in the second. It just makes no sense. It makes no logical sense. Okay, then they just took the entire story in another direction that nobody wanted it to go in. They made it all about the love story between Ellie and Dina. Okay,
hmm
and that's not what people wanted to see. We wanted to see Joel being badass. And even if we could have gotten half a season of Joel being badass, I would have been happy with that. That's why they should have put that flashback episode as the first episode. It would have given us more Joel. It would have given us more emotional ties to his death. Because if you were like me, you didn't rewatch the first season before the second season came out. You didn't feel anything emotionally with them killing Joel other than you just being pissed.
And what they could have actually done. Um, and some people talked about this, but okay, so you could have started the first episode if you want to jump 5 years later, which I don't particularly like, but that's what they did. Okay. And we could have seen the initial, I say probably 10-15 minutes of you see the tension between Joel and Ellie, then hit us with the flashback. If you want to give us a little bit of where he was at the therapist with Gail and said, "Oh, you kill Eugene," and then boom, at that point in time, we get the flashback going to the birthdays, each birthday, and how things kind of led up to where, you know, Ellie was pissed at Joel. All right. Now, the one thing that I would not have wanted to see was Joel actually telling Ellie that he took the fireflies out. I would have rather had that for the end of of the entire series completely. Do the flashback for that at the end of the entire series after we go through everything, trying to get to Abby and all that stuff. And it didn't have to be this season; it could be 3 or 4, however you want to do it. And at that point in time, and so it will bring you full circle to the fact that how Ellie and Joel, how she was not able to actually fully forgive Joel and tell him that before he was brutally murdered, and how that's going to stay with her forever. You know what I'm saying? If we talk about this cycle of grief, so there was a method here that we could have worked with. You know, that didn't quite go over the way that it probably should have. The execution was poor. Let's say that it was poor execution. And to be honest, the Eugene execution that could have been a whole lot better too. That was a little weak. Okay, I don't know how you felt about it, but it was pretty weak to me. I mean, it was all he was bit. I don't know how far they were away from town, but I'll be damned, I'm gonna drag him back to town and he snapped and bite some other folk. Now we got a real problem. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all this is about survival of the herd. Okay. And so in this instance, we see that Joel's like he's always ready to make the tough decisions where everybody else gets overly emotional. And he's got emotions involved in it as well, but he's like, we got to put this to the side. You see, he said, "This is my burden to bear. I'm able to do these things." Okay. And so I think that's what makes Joel's character so intriguing because he has to go, he's like the only one who's able to look at things objectively and be like, this is one of the most difficult decisions that I have to make, and I'm going to make it because it's going to be best for the herd or for whoever I love. You know what I'm saying? So there it is. There it is. I mean,
Yeah, it was
spot on.
pretty weak. They could have done it a way better. Like, but he was obviously right. He needed to kill him. He had to. I mean,
Yeah.
they had to be really far out there. There's no way that I'm riding with this dude on horseback with me and he's bitten. I don't know when he's going to. He could turn immediately. I mean, but Ellie did that
Hmm.
thing where he was like, "Let me see your hand," and then it wasn't shaking or whatever. And he was like, she was like, "He's got time." Well, do they have an accurate amount of time of when people change? Have they? Did they do experiments on that or
Yeah.
what?
Not that I know of.
So
Not that
Joel
I
was
know of.
obviously, he was obviously right in knowing that he had to freaking kill this dude. I mean, that's just obvious. That's zombie apocalypse 101. Someone's
Exactly.
bitten, you kill them immediately. There's no messing around here. You got to take them out.
Right. 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 And I mean, we even seen that when we talk about things that are not zombies, vampire. You know what I'm saying? In the recent movie Sinners, it's like, hey, if I get bit, you need to kill me. All right, don't let me turn. Bam. That's the whole premise. That's it. It's like you got to do what needs to be done.
Yeah,
And
there
so,
was even there was a dream that I actually had about a zombie apocalypse, right? I was in like this gymnasium full of all these people and a zombie outbreak happens, right? And all these zombies come into this gymnasium. We were trying to get away. And I found like a machete or something like that. And I was like, we need weapons. And I went and found a machete. And one of the people that I was with, her husband got bit. And I'm like, she was like, no, he's coming with us. And I'm like, the hell he is. I pushed him away and I literally chopped his freaking head off, bro, with a machete in my dream because I'm like, you're stupid. You're stupid if you think this
right,
dude that just got bit is coming with us. I was like, no, immediately. I shoved him to the ground and freaking chopped his head off with a freaking machete. Like, that's just the way that it is. That's this type of scenario is what you're in, and you have to make decisions that it doesn't matter. And the person that's bitten has to know too. You know what I mean? They have to
right,
come to
right,
peace with the fact that they cannot live.
right. And we seen this in Jackson in episode 2, where people were in the town and they were bit. They showed they were bit, and somebody sat there and shot them right in the head. I mean,
Yep.
that was it. It's like, yep, they got me, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're reserved to your fate at that point in time. It just is what it is, and I know it's a loved one and all that stuff, but I just I just feel like the Eugene thing, like I think that the way Gail had said it when her and Joel were in therapy, it was making me think that there was something more to it than what I seen. You know what I'm saying? Like like Joel had went out and he had made a mistake that got Eugene caught up and bit or so. I was thinking something like that. Like I was thinking more of a dramatic situation than yeah, they were just in the woods and but it bit me. So I was, I don't know. I was looking for something else, right? I looked for something dramatic there. But like it just didn't hit me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because they built it up as this unknown thing, and also the unknown thing between Ellie and Joel, why Ellie is mad at Joel. Like they didn't
Hmm.
explain that. I mean, we knew that it had to do with the hospital, but it's not like that they didn't explain it. And and I complain about exposition in shows and movies like all the time. I don't like it when it's heavy exposition. I like figuring things out on my own, but this is a different scenario. This is a different story. This is where this is an end of the world freaking zombie apocalypse, okay? Like it's not supposed to be figure things out on your own. It's supposed to be entertainment,
Hmm.
okay? But if I'm
Right.
sitting down and watching a movie, that's different. Like I don't want everything explained to me. I want to try and, figure things out on my own. I want them to symbolically give me some things, some psychological things for me to put two and two together on my own before the end of the movie without them explaining
Hmm.
it to me in dialogue. But this is different. This is 100% into the world entertainment shit. It has to be explained. You need to explain it. And if you don't, you end up with something like this, some kind of garbage, nonsense, horrible writing where things are set up for a big payoff when they weren't set up properly. And then the payoff doesn't work.
Right,
It doesn't
right,
work.
yeah,
And that we've seen that several times throughout this season. None of it worked. It all fell flat. And not only that, dude, we how long do you think that we've seen Abby in this entire season? How much screen time do you think she had? She might have had what, maybe 20
30
minutes?
minutes, 20, 30 minutes.
And she's supposed to be the bad guy. And then they're trying to set up Isaac. He had maybe 5 minutes of screen time. We
It
didn't
wasn't
see him
long.
for
It wasn't
two
long.
episodes, bro. We didn't see him for 2 episodes, and he was in this latest episode for like 2 minutes. And Abby was
Yeah,
in it even less. Abby showed up at the very end and was like, "Oh, I'm here," and then she shoots what's his name in the head through the eye,
Jesse. Yeah,
Jesse. Which I didn't feel anything for Jesse either because Jesse had no screen time. We did not understand his character. It did not I did not feel anything for him whenever he died. And that should have been a very dramatic moment because it's supposed to come out of nowhere, right? That whole
yeah,
setup at
hmm,
the end of the episode is supposed to be like a surprise. But I didn't feel surprised. I was like, let's just get through this
yeah,
shit. Let's just get through it.
yeah. And I think maybe the reason that, well, obviously we see now the reason that we don't have a whole lot of screen time is because season three is going to be nothing but Abby and her 3 days in Seattle before she meets up with Ellie, Tommy, and Jesse. You know, that's that's what season three is going to be.
And how freaking boring is that going to be? We already know what she was doing. Like, what is she going to pretend like that she doesn't know who's killing her friends? Like, oh, we already know who was killing them. It was fucking Ellie. There's no fucking
Well, I guess
surprise
I
there.
guess we'll see some stuff from the WLF perspective. You know, in the game, she befriends one of the scars, one of the Seraphites. I believe his name is Lev. Um,
But I just do not care about her. I don't care about Isaac. I don't care about Abby. I don't care about Ellie. I don't care about Dina. I don't care about Jesse. I don't care about any of them at all. They have made me not care about any of them because they have not set up any of their characters properly. They should have set up Ellie as the lovable person that everybody likes, that everybody wants to root for. But instead,
mhm.
they did the opposite. They screwed the entire thing up. They did not give enough character development for Ellie other than her being a teenage freaking brat, which made everyone hate her and not like her. Okay.
Yeah,
And there's been a lot of
and that
confusion online too because people are like, Bella Ramsey is the most hated actor in Hollywood right now. And like, I don't care about her as a person. I'm sure she's fine as a person. I'm sure she's great. But I do not like her
right,
character on the show. Those are two things that you need to separate. You cannot like
right,
the character and still like the person. I'm sure she's a fine person. I'm sure she's great. I don't care about her as a person, but I do not like her character in this show because they have done absolutely nothing to make the audience like her in any kind of way at all. Period. In fact, they've done the complete opposite. They made her a bumbling freaking idiot that has absolutely no idea what she's doing. And that's unfortunate because we're supposed to root for the main character. You're supposed to love the main character of the show. It's supposed to be a smooth transition, just like Game of Thrones. Okay, I know that I've brought up Game of Thrones, but there's a lot of parallels here. Okay, and they're both run by the same company, HBO, which is Warner Brothers. But with Game of Thrones, they killed Ned Stark at the end of the first season. Okay, but they had all these other characters that had already been set up all around Westeros that you could root for, that were likable characters, that people felt a connection to. You immediately had Robb Stark, which became the new king of the North, and you were rooting for him until season 4, whenever he gets killed in a very dramatic way. His entire family gets killed. Okay, and then you had Daenerys, and then you had Jon Snow up at the wall. You had all these other subplots of all these other major characters that you can draw from. You had Jaime Lannister, you had Cersei Lannister, you had Tyrion Lannister that you might not have been excited for after they killed your favorite main character in the first season, but you grew to love. You're like, okay, I can get into this. This is great. I love this.
Hmm.
But not with The Last of Us. They did it wrong. They did it way wrong. I could have written this show better in my freaking sleep, dude. I could have went to sleep, had a dream about this, and woke up and wrote something better than this garbage that they pumped up. I bet a 4-year old in grade school could write a better plot script for this show than what they did.
It definitely left something to be desired, and a lot of times when you have shows like this, I always want to go to somebody who looks at things just as was I entertained or not. So that's the way my girlfriend looks at stuff. She doesn't get overly deep into stuff. She just when she watches it, was I entertained? And she was like, it's kind of losing me. It's like it's not entertaining anymore. I was like, yes, it's a little weak. Like it's weak. Like they tried to give us the, the issue is they gave us a watered down version of Ellie. That's my number one issue with the show. We should have seen the light switch get turned on and her go into full hell mode. That if we'd have had that, you know what I'm saying?
And then you know
Then
what?
I think we would have
Then you
had
know
a
what, Cube?
fantastic season.
If they would have done that, then I would have forgiven all the gay shit. Just like I
Right.
forgave the gay shit in the first season. I looked
Hmm.
over all the gay shit in the first season because everything else was spectacular. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't care about this one episode of two gay dudes. Who gives a shit? Whatever. But they focused the whole season 2 around the gay shit and they didn't have any badassery. No
Right.
badassery. I mean, how many times did Ellie play the freaking guitar, bro? How many guitar scenes of her either starting to begin to play a song and sing or playing a full freaking song and singing? Well, I
Yeah.
know that we had 3 with
Yeah.
Ellie and 2 with Joel.
Well, the writers and producers said, man, they were on set crying when she was playing, and I was like, really? That brought y'all to tears? It didn't quite hit me. You know what I'm saying? And look, I'm not the type to get overly emotional during films. I say I probably loosened up a little bit more since I've been with my girlfriend. She when she watches stuff, if she's invested in it, she can get emotional about characters and stuff. Every once in a while, it hits me, but at no point in time did it really hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like like you have that, and because you know Joel's gonna die, it's not as much a shock factor as when you seen it in the video game. Okay, but some of the other stuff throughout the season, you're trying to hit emotional marks, hearkening back to the remembrance of Joel, and it didn't quite hit. I know they were trying to give me an emotional moment with Eugene. It didn't quite hit. You know,
No, because one, we don't even know who Eugene is. Was he
yeah,
even in the first season? Was he in the first season at
no,
all?
no, no. When they got to Jackson, Gail wasn't up there either. So
They've set up all of these characters off screen. All of them have been set up off screen. We don't know anything about these people, dude. We don't even know anything
Yeah, they
about
don't even
Tommy,
give themselves.
really. I mean, how long how Tommy was
Yeah.
in what, one episode of the season 1 whenever they got to Jackson Hole before they went to try and find the
Hmm.
cure or whatever for Ellie? Like, we don't even know any of these people. And how are you supposed to bring gravity and weight and an emotional connection whenever they've been developed off screen? And then we're just thrown into the thick of it, into Ellie being this whiny freaking brat with absolutely no backstory. That's what threw everybody off. I mean, I hated this from the very first, the jump of the first episode. If you go back and listen to our first review of this season, I'm like, this is garbage. This first episode is
Right.
garbage. I did not like it. I thought that it was shit, but I held out hope because the first season was so good. I was like, okay, but normally when you start off with something as shit as that first episode was, it's not going to be good for you. It's like releasing a album. Like if you're a music artist and you're releasing an album and the first song is garbage, it doesn't hook you in whenever you play that first song on the stream, that first song, or back in the day putting the
Right.
CD or the cassette in the tape player. That first song sets the tone for the entire rest of the album. If that first song is garbage, guess what the rest of the album's going to be? It's going to be garbage. And that's what we got. The second episode was the best episode of the entire season, and it was still lacking because I still didn't feel anything. There was nothing there for me to feel. It was like they did all this stuff for just pure shock value. They didn't have a plan. They wanted everybody talking about how they just killed the main character of the entire show. Again, exactly like what they did with Game of Thrones. And they wanted to be remembered for that. I remember in the after the credits, with the playback of the season or whatever, like the writers and the directors were talking about how
Hmm.
we had to get this second episode so perfect because this episode is going to go down in history as one of the greatest episodes of television ever made. I'm like, it could have been if you made it right, but you didn't.
Hmm.
You Cube, they could have literally have consolidated those last 4 to 5 those last 5 episodes into an hour and a half long episode. After episode 2, they could have literally written those 5 episodes down to one singular episode and made it an hour and a half. That's how
Yeah.
boring and nonsensical and horrible writing it was, that you could cut that entire thing into 1 hour and 30-minute episode. We didn't even need all that. It
Right.
was fucking
Right.
garbage. It was garbage, dude. It was all garbage. They could have sped through that so quickly. They should have at least had Ellie killing one person, at least one person per episode.
Oh, she did.
Okay.
She did. She did stab that one guy in the neck. She did do that.
Oh, oh, oh,
Um, and then
oh,
she and then
oh.
she and then she shot Owen and Mel, which she freaked out about shooting Mel. And then Mel was like, "Cut it out." I was about to cut the baby out. I don't know. Like on the game, Owen goes to show her something on the map, and then Owen tries to take the gun. Ellie shoots him. Mel comes in with a knife. Ellie takes the knife from her, stabs her in the neck. Like it's a whole lot more brutal. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, oh, I shot. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like the shock on her face that she shot. It was almost like, are you not in a murderous rampage or not? Okay. Are you or are you not? Like, she seemed surprised that she shot the gun. I'm like, why are you surprised? And she's like, I don't know. It's just like they they didn't hit on the element that I wanted them to hit on. I was expecting something totally different from this season because I understood that Joel's death was on the way. All right, it's hard not to because everything spoils it. I mean, when the Last of Us season comes out, folks are showing the Last of Us stuff on TikTok, Twitter, whatever, wherever you at, they showing it. Okay, and so I was like, okay, we about to see the heat this season because we thought she had elevated her game whenever that dude had tried to take advantage of a little SA of the sexual assault, and then uh and then Ellie kills the guy in that building and it burns down and she runs out and Joel's like, hey, I got you. He was like, okay, that's like, where her breaking point, she starts getting into that mode where she, Slayer mode. And we just missed Slayer mode. And I think if we got pure Slayer mode in this, then I think that it would have made a more entertaining season. Okay, we could have some elements of the relationship with her and Dina because that is in the game. Okay, but Ellie's more pissed that Dina comes. So why didn't you tell me? Because now I got to worry about this. You know what I'm saying? Your ass should have stayed back. Because I mean, I'm here to do the Lord's work. All right. I mean, that's what you say. I'm here to do the Lord's work. All right, which is go in and snuff some folks out. It's snuff time. And so as we traverse through this, she just seemed extremely unskilled, which was a turn off. You know what I'm saying? It like turns you off for a character how unskilled she seems when she was with one of the most badass people on the planet, who was Joel, which he would have been training her up, to be able to handle herself. I mean, do you feel the same way as I feel on that?
Yeah, yeah, I feel the exact same way. She should have been. Look, whenever you agree to go on this mission for revenge, like you know that you got to be killing some people. Okay, why is she acting shocked every time that she kills somebody? Like, oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. Oh, like I just traveled halfway across the freaking United States to get revenge and kill these people, but yet I'm shocked when I actually kill them. Okay, you got to know the mission when you're on the mission, or you don't go on the freaking mission. She should have just stayed. Both of them should have just stayed back in freaking Jackson Hole. It probably would have been a more entertaining show if they would have not even have went to Washington. Okay, help the
Right.
people back in Jackson Hole. Yeah, give me that thumbs up bubble. Yeah, they should have went back to freaking. They should never even have went. It would have been way more. It would have been a lot better if they would have just stayed there, helped rebuild their civilization, so we can get more backstory on all these other characters, and just finished out the season back in Jackson Hole, and then went to Washington uh, instead of doing all these freaking stupid time jumps. Okay, and they didn't even mourn Joel in the show, dude.
I mean, they gave him a few moments whenever she walked up to his gravestone. I mean, that was a couple moments.
Let me just wake up out of this coma or whatever that I've been through. Like three months later, like you're telling me that I think that time jump was 3 months. Was it 3 or 4 months?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
it's 3
somewhere
months.
around there. It was the 3 to 4 month mark. Like you're telling me that it took 3 to 4 months for Ellie to heal, pretty much a teenager. What is she, like 18, 19 now?
19, yeah.
You're telling me it took 3 to 4 months for her to heal from being thrown to the ground and kicked in the ribs a couple of times and maybe punched in the face? Bullshit.
Yes.
Teenagers bounce back quick. She would have been ready in a week, bro. She'd have been out of the hospital in a week or 2 weeks. Easy. teenagers are resilient, bro. They get knocked down, kicked down, they bounce right back. Okay, so we're led
Hmm.
to believe that it took 3 months for her to heal up, and then we get that time jump. They just love time jumps in the second season, dude. They're just time jumping all over the place. It's almost like they're fucking Marvel. They're just going back in time, forward in time. Like it's just dumb, dude. It's so dumb. It's lazy, sloppy writing that doesn't serve the characters, doesn't make you like the characters at all. And then like whenever she shoots the one dude and then it hits the pregnant lady in the neck. Okay, it's kind of dramatic, but again, you're there to do a mission. This girl was there to she was responsible for, you know, helping Abby kill Joel. You don't have any sympathy for these people. I don't give a shit if she's pregnant or not. Okay, I'm there to do a job and I'm going to finish the job. Like whatever
Hmm.
happened happened. Okay, if she accidentally got shot, then that's the way that it was supposed to be. And I know that might sound heartless or whatever, or that I don't care about them, but dude, if someone kills my dad, bro, and that's pretty much what Joel was, you know, that was basically Ellie's dad, right? Someone came in and murdered my dad, bro. I don't give a shit if you're a teenager, you're a kid, you're a freaking whatever. Like, if you're in my way, bro, you're gone. That's just how it is. That's just the way that it's going to be. And I know that they wanted that emotional tension in there because Dina is also pregnant, so they wanted to kind of like relate to her because Dina's pregnant, she's in danger, and then this other girl's pregnant, she accidentally shoots her in the neck. You know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to shoot somebody that is pregnant, okay, but if they happen to die in the collateral damage of me doing what I'm doing, it's a non-issue. Okay, I'm not going to go
It
out
is what it
murdering.
is. Yeah.
I just don't want people to get confused on that. That I'm going to go out murdering a bunch of children or freaking pregnant women. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if someone is collateral damage due to me serving my mission, I mean, do you think that? And I'm sure it does, but I'm sure that army soldiers have had to kill a lot of people, okay, including children. Okay, a lot of them have killed a lot of people, including entire families of people. Probably pregnant
Mhm.
people, probably kids. Do you think that they
Mhm.
just stopped like in the middle of that and was like, no, I can't, I can't complete this mission because this lady's pregnant. I have to abandon the whole thing because she's pregnant.
That's actually how you get killed
Yep.
because there's no guarantee that they won't pull the weapon on you.
Hey, and what if that's not even a baby bump, dude? What if that's a freaking giant
Hmm.
bomb, bro? What if she's
Yeah.
hiding a bomb underneath that thing? It's not even. It's not. She's not even pregnant. She's all
Well,
strapped up with a giant freaking bomb, bro.
what if she just ate half a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts? You know what I'm saying? Got a little bloating going on. You know, who's got a little bloating? Yeah, that can happen. A little bloated. Uh, but what what did it for me on episode 7 was when Ellie was got on the boat and was going out to the aquarium, got seemingly like I thought taken out by the waves. All of a sudden she washes up to I guess another island, a beach side or something, and the scars are right there to pick her up and ready to cut her belly open. And then they hear something and they're like, what should we do with her? Oh, just leave her. I'm like, where did this come from? That seemed random as hell. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was like, why is this in the show? Like it was just, and I know why it's there because we're gonna see from Abby's perspective, she probably did something that caused the explosion, or WLF was attacking at the time, and so it's like, oh, Ellie just happened to be in the area. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like dumb. Like it showed up. It's like, hey, I'm not WLF. It's like, and he got the little kid. It's like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're open. I was, what is happening here? Is that what the scars do? And the scars and the Seraphites, man, I got no connection to them, period. Okay. I mean, whether they all get their heads cut off the next day or not, it really doesn't matter. Like, because the only thing I know from them is that they just string folk up and cut their guts open. I'm like, I don't even like I got nothing with them. Like, I ain't getting no explanation. I ain't getting no back. The season needed more episodes. The season needed about 15, 20 episodes. If you were gonna introduce all this stuff so I could understand what I got going on. Because I ain't got no clue. I just know the scars and the WLF don't like each other. For some reason.
That's it. And then Isaac's a badass, and we're supposed to believe that he's a badass. That's it.
For
That's
some
all that we
reason.
get. Yep.
Yeah.
For some
Yeah.
unknown
Don't see no
off-screen
training or
reason,
nothing.
he's the leader of this resistance of people, and we're supposed to believe that he's the leader of this resistance, though we've basically seen him do nothing but blow up some of his former army people, and then uh, I don't know,
Torture
chop
one
some
guy.
dude, yeah, torture some naked dude on the ground. Like that doesn't make you badass, bro. That does not make you badass. Like you're torturing some naked dude. Like yeah,
Yeah,
we
this
see
I
a
mean
schlong. We
that's
get
all
to
we
see
see.
some huge schlong, some schlong along up in there. But dude, like, bro, like that
Yeah, we
does not
appreciate
make.
seeing the dick this season. We appreciate y'all on that.
We get a bunch of gay
You know,
shit and we get to see a dick. I'm so excited.
it used to be where, shows that they would show the boobs, you know what I'm saying? But they've moved away and they've moved more to showing the male genitalia. And I'm like, nobody wants to see that. Not even the women. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even trying to see it. If it's not something that they looking to use right there at that moment and it's in the erect position, don't nobody want to see a penis, dog. Nobody. All right. Maybe the gay dudes at the gay parade. They about to want to see it. All right. Because that's when all of them come out. That's one thing I ain't never understood. Gay parade time. Time for me to get butt naked. I'm like, how's that correlate with the gay parade? I'm got my balls out. It's uncalled for.
But they're not
That's all I'm
supposed to
saying.
be balls if you're a dude, though. You got to tape your dick to your asshole and tape up your balls so it looks like you got a vajayjay, bro.
It's just supposed to do. Oh man, hey, they missed the memo on that. They missed the memo. That's
You
the
gotta
whole
tuck that
premise.
shit, bro. You gotta tuck it down, dude.
Yeah, but and another thing that's I don't know, it's just got me. This theater they in, I guess nobody else sees this as good shelter. Because it looks like great shelter to me. Thing got a generator. I mean, they turn the lights on. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody see the lights were turned on at the theater. Like,
Yeah, didn't they ask Jesse in this episode of, "Are
oh
you
yeah,
ever
how
gonna
you
tell me
found it?
how you found us?" But didn't he explain that in the
Yeah,
2
yeah, he
episodes
did.
ago?
Yeah, yeah. He's like, I just followed where it seemed you would most likely be.
I followed you, I
I
went to
mean,
the theater, and you had all of your plans laid out on the freaking
yeah,
table.
I
You
mean,
didn't put any of that. Did he not say that exact dialogue 2
yeah,
episodes ago?
yeah, that was it. Yeah. I was like, so the fact that somebody else found you there, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. This theater that nobody else wants to be held up in. Because I guess that they're all at the Seattle Seahawks Stadium. We see at the end where it goes back. Abby, we see them out there farming the WLF facility. You see Abby gazing upon all the worker bees. Man, she doesn't seem badass at all. I mean, I'm just sorry. I mean, like they made sure that they had two of the least intimidating females possible as the protagonist and antagonist.
Yeah, and from what I've seen of the games, they casted Ellie, which looks more like Abby in the video game, and Abby looks more like Ellie in the video game. The chick that plays Abby, dude, looks almost identical to the version of Ellie in the video game, bro.
Right. Hmm.
Like,
Right.
what are they doing? Why did they do that? It makes no sense.
I
And then
don't
Ellie
know.
looks more like Abby. Like, doesn't make any sense, bro. Everything is so screwed up. It's so illogical. Makes no sense. And they had to know, Cube. They had to know that this was dog shit. Like, how could this have passed through all of the eyes of the board of HBO and someone not stand up and be like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, well, this needs to happen during the writing process where people review the script. When you review the script, it'd be like, ho 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 ho. Ho. I'm envisioning this in my mind, and I wonder if this is something that AI be used for. It's like, take this script and turn it into a film for me, and they just so you can get a quick idea of what you'd be looking at, and then maybe you take your people and then go and actually make the film and make improvements from there from what you've seen. I wonder if that's something that they would use AI for in the future. Um, but if you're just sitting there reading it and envisioning what you got, you're like, it don't like this was supposed to be an extremely dark season, and it won't dark enough. It was supposed to be extremely dark, and it just won't. I
What
mean, there were scenes that were dark. They were in the dark. I mean, but as far as the overall theme of it, it won't quite that dark. So it's a missed opportunity, is what it is, to make
Yeah,
one of the best series ever made.
and it could have been. It really could have been. And that's been my contention during every single one of these episodes that we've done, every one of these reviews that we've done on this new season. And it's shocking to me almost every time. I'm like, this could have been so great. And the only explanation that I can think of is one, they thought Kamala Harris was going to win the election. And this was written before, had to have been written 2 or 3 years ago. Okay, and they
Hmm.
thought for sure that Kamala was going to win. They thought that this was going to go over way better than it did. That's one explanation. The other explanation is that they thought that the fans of the series weren't going to care, that they were going to like it no matter what they put on the screen.
Hmm.
That seems like the best explanation so far, and it probably had something to do with because people are pulling back from the gay shit. They're starting to pull back from it. Yeah, they're not putting it. I mean, freaking Target has they're all like pro America. They got like USA shit in their kids section.
Hmm.
Whenever last year at this time, well, 2 years ago at this time, they had like trans shit for kids.
Right.
Okay, so they're starting to pull back on it a little bit because they're realizing that nobody wants to see this shit. Nobody wants to see it, and people are tuning out for it. I mean, and that's evident in the 55% drop. Like, again, any industry that you're ever in and you see a 55% drop in your consumer base, you're fucked. You're done.
You usually don't recover. You kind of
But
look like Marvel right now. That Marvel has lost people, and I don't think they'll ever be able to get them back. It'll take a cult classic type film in order to get people back. Because here's the deal. I think one of the worst films that they ever did was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I was like, my God, man, y'all want to talk about just fumbling the whole bag? I mean, y'all put the big bad in damn the Ant-Man movie. It's like, I mean, shit, man. I mean, give me something better than this. And the Thunderbolts came out, which has been actually widely acclaimed as a fairly decent film. I went and watched the film. It's okay. I don't like the power of friendship winning all these final battles. You know what I'm saying? I want to see somebody get, executed. I mean, the execution for the final battle. But the power of friendship's been winning all these battles right here recently. Um, but even though people have said, "Oh man, that film has been one of the better ones that they did," Phase 5, Phase 6, it's it's made over $100 million less, over I think $120 million less than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That's like
Yep,
shit. It's so bad. I mean,
it hasn't even made its budget back.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, once you start losing people because you just been putting out poor product, they usually don't come back. That's just it. Like people now, but you get one opportunity because there's too much media. If this was 30 years ago, they would just cancel the show. They'd just be like, "Look, no, we can't have no shit like this, so it's just canceled." All right. But now people have so many options. All right. And a lot of these companies think that they can revitalize and get people back if they do this and that, and that's fair enough whether that can happen or not. But there's so much media out there that the next thing is on already, and so if this ain't captivating me, you've got Apple TV got their own stuff, Peacock got their own stuff, Amazon Prime got their own stuff, of course HBO, it's got their own stuff, multiple other things. Stars has got their own stuff. Showtime's got their own thing. Yeah, I mean, so
Paramount.
everybody's got stuff out. Paramount, I mean, everybody's got stuff out. There's media everywhere. So if you can't captivate right out the gate, you're screwed. And if you lose folks, you usually lose them for good.
Yep, that's what's happening. I mean, and the Marvel thing is a really good parallel to this because Marvel lost to me.
Uh-huh.
Marvel lost to me after Endgame, dude. I didn't watch. I've watched two Marvel movies since Endgame. And when did Endgame come out? Like 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago,
2019.
2019. Yep. Then I've watched two Marvel movies. I watched Spider Man, No Way Home, and I watched Deadpool Wolverine. And Deadpool Wolverine came out last year. And the only reason that
Okay,
I
so
watched Deadpool Wolverine was because Hugh Jackman was in it, and I freaking love X Men, and I love Wolverine, and I freaking love Hugh Jackman. That was the only reason that I watched it, and the only reason that I watched Spider Man No Way Home. I didn't even watch. I didn't even watch the second Spider Man movie.
no, you didn't watch Far From Home,
Nope, I didn't watch Far From Home. I watched the first Spider
which
Man
is
because it
actually
came out
pretty good with
before.
Mysterio. It's actually pretty good. The Spider-Man movies are good for me. I think all of them are pretty good.
But the only reason that I watched Spider Man No Way Home was because of Tobey Maguire. I think Tobey Maguire was the best Spider Man that we ever had. Those first two Spider Man movies with Tobey Maguire, and
Hmm.
people can yell Andrew Garfield all that they want, but they really screwed Tobey Maguire over. I thought that he was great. Amazing first two movies. And that was the only reason that I watched Far From Home, or yeah, Spider Man Far From Home, was because of Tobey Maguire, because he was coming back as Spider Man. That was it. That's all the Marvel movies that I've watched. And how many has there been since? Like, there's been freaking 20, 25 movies since then.
Let's see. So Black Widow, Eternals, Shang-Chi, the other Captain America, Ant-Man and the Wasp, two Spider-Mans. Probably been like the Marvels, probably like 10, 11.
I know there's
So
some more
correct.
on there that we're not remembering because they've been pumping out like 5 movies a year since then. I mean,
Well, hold
there
on.
was
So
one year that
okay,
they
so
only came out
so
with one or two.
right. So okay, so we had Black Widow, we had the Eternals, we had Shang-Chi, we had two Spider-Man movies, because you had that the Spider-Man movie, like was it directly after? Yeah, it was directly after Tony Stark's death, if I'm correct. Yeah, because that was the Far From Home with Mysterio. Then you had No Way Home.
Oh, and then
Okay,
don't
so
forget
that's
Doctor
five.
Strange. We had a Doctor Strange movie.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse, had Black Panther, Ant-Man and the Wasp, who had another Captain America, Thunderbolts. If I'm missing one. Oh, the Marvels, that's 11. Yeah, that's right, 11. It's been 11.
But that's not even including all the stupid, dumbass TV
Yeah,
shows.
that's not including the stuff that they did on Disney Plus, which some of that stuff was rough. Some of that stuff was rough. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm like, whoo, man, but hey, but when y'all are digging through characters, man, some of them you can leave them on the cutting room floor, and know what they say. I mean, leave them in there. Shit. So we got Ironheart coming out right here in a few weeks. The Black Iron Man, black and a woman, Ironheart. That's what we want.
Oh my God, they made her black and a woman.
Yeah, yeah. She was in the Black Panther Wakanda Forever. She was actually introduced in that movie. She's like super smart, and she recreated the Iron Man suit herself. Um,
Oh
yeah,
my
she's a
God, I can't
college.
wait for this one to flop too.
Yeah, I mean, well, the writer, what the saying would be. You saying that as a white male would be supremacist in nature. It would be supremacist in nature. So
Okay,
we're gonna get
you
we're
know
gonna go
who's a
ahead.
badass female? Badass
And,
females are like from like Alien, right? They're like from Terminator. Okay,
yeah,
Sarah Connor is a badass female. Okay,
yeah.
if they would,
Who,
if
who, am I- who, who am
if
I
the
thinking
lady
about?
that played Sarah Connor was black, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I
think
don't
about the
care
the
what
black chick
color of your
from the '70s.
skin you are, bro. I don't care what your sexual preferences are. I don't care if you're fucking transgender or what. Just make a good fucking story. Make something entertaining. Make something that's good. But the problem is that they substitute the story arcs and the character developments for them being of a different ethnicity or for them being of a different sexual preference or being a different gender. You can't
Mm,
do that. You just can't do it. Okay, that's why all these movies suck. It's not because the genders have been flipped. It's not because that it's a black person or a Mexican or a Chinese or whatever. It's because the story fucking sucks. It's because the writing sucks. It's because there's no character development. They're relying solely based upon uh, them doing the thing, the subversive thing, and changing the gender roles or changing the ethnicity. I do not care
right.
about gender roles. I do not care about ethnicity. Freaking Get Out was freaking incredible. Okay, all of Jordan Peele's movies are freaking incredible. They all feature, people of a different race. I do not care. I don't even see. You just have to make a good fucking movie, Cubed. That's all that you got to do. That is literally all that I care about. I do not care about the race, the gender, the sexual proclivities. Just make something fucking good. Okay, don't care. They could be a zebra fucking person from uh, half cat, half animal, alien human hybrid. I don't give a shit. But they got to make a
Mhm.
good product. It's got to be good, dude. Like you can't make a subpar thing trying to subvert expectations. It falls flat and does not deliver ever. It's never worked. But they want to turn around and blame it on the ethnicity issue or the gender role issue or the sexual proclivities issue. But that's not what it
Mm,
is. It's the story. It's the writing.
right,
It's the character development.
right, right. You're right. You're right. I ain't gonna argue with you on that one. So what we're looking like, season three will be completely from Abby's point of view for probably about 6 episodes because we seem to be regressing in the number of episodes we can produce within 2 years. And then season four will probably be about either 4 to 5 episodes. Hell, just make it a 2 hour movie. You know what I'm saying? And that would be direct conflict between Ellie and Abby, and then we can all go home. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's supposedly what they're doing with the new season of Stranger Things. That's what they're doing there.
Oh
They're
yeah,
gonna make all of
but
the episodes like an
Millie
hour and a
Bobby
half each.
Brown, Millie Bobby Brown was a little kid, tomboyish looking when that shit started. But she's a full grown, good looking woman now. You know what I'm saying? Booty popping, breast out. I'm like, y'all, y'all took a little bit too much time. What happened to the days? You remember when they made Harry Potter? They didn't fuck around. Like they made Harry Potter. Like they made the movies. It's like, they're children when this happens. So we need to hurry the fuck up. Okay?
Okay, and that's a whole other thing because they just recasted Harry Potter. Have you seen the actors that are playing Harry Potter?
Right. Harry Potter's already been done. They don't need to do it. What they
They're
doing?
remaking it. They're remaking it on HBO show. Google it real quick. Put in HBO remakes Harry Potter and bring it up on the screen.
Uh, HBO Harry Potter series finds it's Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Which I ain't gonna lie to you. Emma Watson, but she's tough, man. Uh, okay, hold on. They got something different right here. This may not be what you've seen before. They may have reversed course.
I'll bring it up on the screen so I can see you.
Yeah, so this is just from a day ago, or from May 27th. I'm sorry. So they got Dominique McLaughlin will play Harry Potter. So this cat. So they've changed it
No,
because
no,
I know
no,
what you were
no.
talking
But
about.
they casted Snape and the scroll down some.
Oh, uh, yeah. I think Snape was black, wasn't he? In I think I seen that.
Yeah, which I mean, like
This
I don't care, but they also cast the freaking Trinity killer as the serial killer from Dexter. They got
Oh yeah.
they got the lady, and I'm actually excited about Hermione because she actually seems like she's a good child actor and can probably play the part really good.
Uh-huh.
And that's the way that you cast something, right? You don't cast it just because of their of DEI purposes. You just don't do that. And that's what
Right.
they've been doing, okay? You get the best actor that can do the best job. You
Right.
get the person for the job, okay? And we've seen that with these freaking what was it, the airline flight people or whatever, they were just g- uh, hiring them because they were of like some sort of
Hmm.
ethnicity or what, and all these problems started. Like, no, bro, like you got to get people that are certified for the job. That is the best person for the job. Like, you just don't bring people in because they're the for DEI because you got to meet a quota for DEI.
Hmm.
That's not how this shit works. And that's why you're getting all these failed movies and all these failed projects. Is
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're
That's
flaunting
it to a T.
out the fact that that we're flipping the roles, we're gender reversing it, we're making an all female Ghostbusters. You know what I mean? And they're
Yes.
doing it just because it's an all female Ghostbusters.
We got to break that patriarchy up a little bit, man.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. Now, if you wrote a good story and the story called for a all female Ghostbusters, then great, make the movie. But you've tailored the entire movie around it being an all female Ghostbusters movie. And I'm just using Ghostbusters as an example, but they've done that several times with
Hmm.
gender roles and ethnicity groups. Like whenever you tailor the entire thing around this new gender flipping role, and it's not a good, it just falls flat, dude. It just does not work and people do not like it. And then they blame this
So
last
true.
episode of The Last of Us having a 55% drop because of the holiday weekend. See, they use all these excuses. Oh, well, people don't like Bella Ramsey because Bella Ramsey is coming out as LGBTQ. She's gender fluid and she's a lesbian and all this. She likes girls. That's why they don't like her. No, we don't like her because she fucking sucks. That's all it is. That's all it is, HBO. She just sucks. We don't like her
That's it.
character. That doesn't mean that she sucks as a person. Again, I'm sure she's a great person. I don't care what she does off the screen. You have to deliver a good performance, and the writing has to be on point, especially for something as high and critically acclaimed as The Last of Us. Okay, you have to do it
Right.
right, and they didn't do it right, and they screwed up her character. And I'm allowed to say that I do not like her character. Her character sucks. Has nothing to do with her
That's
being
it.
gay or LGBTQ. And if she was black, it wouldn't have anything to do with her being black. Or if she was Mexican, it wouldn't have anything to do with her being Mexican. It has everything to do with her character within the show. Her character within the show sucks, massive, naked guy that Isaac was torturing.
Yep.
Sucks, big, naked guy dick that Isaac was torturing.
Yeah, that one. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. We appreciate Ryder being with us for this journey, going through The Last of Us season two. We want to have him back for some future shows. Letting y'all know, I'm gonna be checking a few films out. I'm actually gonna be doing some recordings on some previous films that I had watched as well, so people can know what I think about them. I'll be talking about the most recent Captain America movie and the Thunderbolts movie, as well as Sinners. But we do have a movie coming out this week that I'm actually excited to go watch, and that's Ballerina from the world of John Wick. That comes out tomorrow. Okay, actually tonight, if you've got in your area, it hits 12 o'clock. If you got people who got the midnight showing, so that's coming out. Also, we've got the first introduction, official introduction to the DCU, James Gunn's DCU Superman, that is coming out in July, as well as Marvel's last hope for this year, which is the Fantastic Four First Steps. Both of those should be out in July, which I plan on checking out and see what we got, see if we got anything there. Uh, the Superman one to be interesting because they're trying to kickstart that back again, and we'll see if James Gunn is able to move that in a good direction. I thought that he did a fantastic job with the Guardians of the Galaxy series, which he did do the production for all of those. So maybe he'll be able to get the DC universe on the correct path. So yeah, be on the lookout for that stuff. Make sure you're going and you're checking out everything that Ryder Lee does. Ryder, you got a website you want to send them to?
You can just follow me on Raised by Giants on YouTube and any and all podcast platforms. But the
Okay.
ballerina is a perfect example, really quickly before we go. The ballerina is a perfect
Hmm.
example of this because I'm pretty sure that the main character in the ballerina is a woman,
Yes. Hmm.
and I don't care. I think it's
Right.
great because I know that whoever it is going to be fucking badass, and I'm going to love it because this is from the creators of John Wick. Okay.
The world of John Wick. And what it actually hooks you because in the title is from the world of John Wick ballerina. So that's in there. So anything John Wick related, all the John Wick films are great. The Continental, which is a miniseries on Peacock, fantastic miniseries. If people have not watched it, me and Corey covered that. Go watch it. Fantastic. And from what I'm seeing from this ballerina, which is going to be located between the third and fourth films of the John Wick movie. That's when this is actually taking place. And we do have a cameo of Keanu Reeves in this movie. I think it's going to be a good movie. All right. They haven't disappointed me yet. Uh, Special effects are going to be great. And we're going to see some heads roll. We're going to see some folks get taken out. True revenge story. I like a revenge story. Okay. I think everybody loves a revenge story. All right.
Me too, and
So
you
be
have
on the
to do it
lookout.
good. And this is a perfectly. I'm gonna go see ballerina because I love the Continental on Peacock as well. I thought that that was
Hmm.
great, amazing. It was only 3 episodes, but each episode was like an hour and 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
Incredible. I wish
Hmm.
they would do a season two. They probably won't, but I'm excited for them to expand this John Wick universe because they've hit every
Yeah.
single.
Hmm.
I just rewatched John Wick 4 the other day. Incredible. It's freaking
And there's so
incredible.
many characters that they can pull from and and make stuff, you know what I'm saying? And just expand the lore of the assassination the assassin community, you know. So there's a lot they can do with this. And
And there's
if they
another
stay
movie
true
on
to what it is, then I think they'll do well.
there's another movie on Netflix that I really like that it's an all-female cast and it's about this you might have seen it, but it's about this girl that her mom's an assassin and she leaves her in a diner or whatever when she's really young, and then she thinks that her mom's dead, and then she grows up in this assassin world and becomes one of the best assassins. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a really badass movie, and that's the way that you portray these characters. If you're going to do
Hmm.
these female leads, like you have to make them badass. That's
Right.
what you got to
Right.
do. You have to, and
And
I think
us
that
as
that's a
viewers,
perfect
we
example.
will suspend belief. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, like I'll take it and I'll chunk that to the side. You know, I watched Peppermint with what's it, Jennifer Garner. I thought it was a good movie, but it gave her context. She seen her husband and her kids get killed in front of her, so she trained her ass off for years to come back and kill the people who killed her husband and kids. So it's like, all right, boom, perfect, context of what I got going on. She put the work in. She's ready to go kick some ass. Bam. There we go. Let's take off. And so I think that's all we were looking for in The Last of Us. I
Yeah,
think
and
that's what we were looking
there's
for.
other revenge movies that are also like that as well. There's one that is about this woman that gets put inside of this like elite hunting group where she's like invited to this like island or whatever, and she is I guess at this party or whatever they just invite a bunch of these like women to the party and then like they hunt them for
Oh,
like
okay,
days or
yeah, yeah. I
whatever.
think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Really good movie. Like it's not hard, guys. It's not hard. You can do it. You can
It's
do it.
not hard. So yeah,
You
maybe.
can flip the
Uh-huh.
gender roles and you can flip the ethnicity without compromising the story and the writing. And it's
Right,
proven you
right,
can do
right,
it. It's pretty freaking easy, but they just don't want to do it for some reason.
right. Yeah, so maybe we got a few hits on the way. We'll come around and let y'all know about that. We appreciate Ryder for being with us. Make sure you checking out everything that he does. And I appreciate him for coming back and doing the Last of Us season two. And we'll definitely have to get him back for some more episodes in the future. So make sure you checking out everything he does. Make sure you go to my website, hq420.com. We appreciate everybody for watching us. We'll catch you on the next Showtime with the Cube. Peace out.